Delighted with the performance, James. I mean, going up against a Wall team that you know have got a lot of quality, and the way they play, really difficult to play against. Real threats on the counter-attack. And I just thought the way the discipline of the team today was brilliant. You know, we know that clean sheets have been an issue for us this season, but the way they defended right till the end, you get your 2 goals at perfect times for us, but sometimes you deserve that. Sometimes we haven't had that at home this year, more before lockdown, but Mason's strike was pure quality. Oli Giroud doing what he's done for us in this period. They've both been fantastic. I'm really proud of the team, James, today. They've worked hard for that this year.
And put it into context, Frank, obviously 4th in your first season as Chelsea manager, that must mean so much.
It means a great deal. It means a great deal, and I suppose at Chelsea we have to be careful getting too excited with top 4 finishes. But you know, coming into the job, I don't think a lot of people put us in that bracket, and we know where we're at, and it's a progress. And can we get better? Can we, now we've secured top 4, can we look at how we can improve and try and close that gap? Because the gap is there for a reason. It's there because Liverpool and Manchester City have taken it to different levels. But what we've done this year, I think, has shown that we've bringing in some of the younger players and giving them the opportunity to play, trying to work with and help and improve players that are already here, already very good players playing for Chelsea. And I think we've done well. But we always want more, but to now reflect on the league itself and think that we've come in the top 4 when it's so competitive around there is something that we can be pretty happy with, and now we have to work to look forward.
Considering what you're up against, Frank, as well, with transfer embargo, you lose your best player, Eden Hazard. You look at how this team's progressed throughout the season. You've got an FA Cup final to come. You must be so delighted, looking forward to next season as well.
Yeah, I am, because the difficulty of this taking the job back in last July, it seems like so long ago now, was that there were a lot of unknowns. You know, can we move forward without Eden Hazard? When you think of what, for me, the best player in the Premier League, if not there or thereabouts, so impactful in this club, we couldn't do any business, and so the reliance on youth and the players that were here, I don't want to talk badly of that, but we just knew we'd lost a massive player. So the ban was what it was, and what we've seen now is a real development of players coming in, a real spirit within the group, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy that it's a team effort, Jamie. All the players there today, players that had maybe not made their debuts, players that were playing in the Championship last year, myself and my staff that have come in here to try and work, and we want to get better every day. And we've made a small achievement. Again, I won't shout from the rooftops because it's top 4 and we're Chelsea, but can we move forward after this? I really hope so.
Hard achievement. We talked about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a young manager in the Premier League making his way into the top 4. This is his first season in the Premier League.
Frank's probably done an even better job, I have to say. I expected him to be thereabouts, but again, the way they've played, I agree with Jamie. I think the way Frank comes across, I think he comes across really well. I think there's no nonsense about him. He's made big decisions. He's brought a lot of young players in, good players, you know, good quality, but they needed opportunity. They took it to finish in the top 4, and obviously if they can win an FA Cup, great achievement. And but as Frank is reminding everybody, he's not getting too carried away getting the top 4. He's obviously put it to a huge step forward for Chelsea again.
Mike, has Frank been rewarded by giving these young players like Mason Mount their head?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to see. I thought Chelsea would finish probably top 8, so to finish Champions League, it's just brilliant. But this player Mount, he went a little bit off the boil, and he's come back, and his form's been outstanding. Tomorrow's got his chance. Abraham scored a lot of goals. They've got so many young players.
Mount as well here.
And I just think they couldn't have got a better manager to get the best out of him, because he's been in that position where, you know, he's worked at Derby, he's done his trade, and he's come to a big club now, and he knows Chelsea inside out. You know, married up with Jody Morris as well, who knows the youth. It's just a brilliant combination.
Jamie, do you see a determination from Frank to not settle for this, but to
Well, he's so driven, Frank. He's been driven all throughout his career. He wants to be a leader, wants to be a winner, and that's what he's done. And there'll be no doubt at all he'll be speaking to the owners. And I do get the feeling the owners interested at the moment. You know, the fact they've signed Werner, the fact they've signed Ziyech. They're talking about Havertz as well, who's a really talented player from Germany. Declan Rice has had a mention as well in the papers. So there's a lot of players that Chelsea are getting aligned to. And if Frank gets those players in, I still think defensively he'll look at that. I think we've conceded too many goals this year. Finding a good goalkeeper, as I said at the top of the show, is not going to be easy. He made a big decision today, leaving him out, and bringing in Caballero was excellent. You know, very safe, very assured. But Frank's under no illusions. They need to buy players to get to that next level, because the guys in the studio, well, no, Man City and Liverpool are still on a different level, and that's why they're so far ahead. But slowly they've got to bridge that gap, bring in better players. They've got the right manager in place now, and Listen, they've always had a hire and fire mentality at this club, where a manager can do well and the next thing they're out after a year or two. Maybe now this might be the time to stand still and give someone an opportunity to really build something special. Like the guys say, you've got Jody Morris here, who knows the academy inside out, who's done a great job supporting Frank. So they'll be delighted with how the season's gone so far. And to get Champions League football, that keeps everyone happy. It makes it easier to attract the big names that you want. So Frank will be certainly delighted with how the season's gone, especially if they can bring in some silverware next week as well.
Jamie, thank you very much for the moment. Yes, big